There we go. Oh, wait, all right, now we'll invite Jocelyn. I thought this was a piece of a muffin.
We'll have to stay with our cheese then.
Yeah. There we go. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're gonna Jocelyn, this is Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Tanya, this is Jocelyn. It is dawned on me that you have not met. I stole her from Dave.
Oh no! Oh, the Tanya. Yes, Dave's friend Tanya. Yes.
Tanya, wow.
This is the thank you. This is the Tanya. Wait,
I'm assuming I'm talking to the Jocelyn.
hold on, Joss. I hit a button. There we go. Okay, Joss. We're just gonna start talking because you know what? We don't necessarily need people because the whole beauty of the live is that I can, I can have it replayed and downloaded for people to watch and be inspired. So this is even better. It's like a podcast vibe. Are you ready, Joss?
Ready.
Okay. All right, Joss. So today we're talking about self-image, right? When was the last time you felt good about the way that you look? And in my notes, I put, what exactly is it about yourself that you like the way you look? And is it about physical appearances and what got you there? So I was going to tell a story about like my journey. Josh, you can hear me okay? Can I talk a little less loud?
Do you have your phone like sitting on something? Also, I gave Kennedy microphone stuff.
Yeah, actually, let's talk about that.
You should steal that from her.
No, actually, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, that's better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We're going to say hi to Lucy. Okay, so you did give her a blog or vlog kit.
Yeah.
And I did. I broke it out and I was like, cool, yes, we're going to use this because I had a little microphone. And then sadly, all of that stuff is for Lightning. And now I have a new iPhone. Right? I have a USB-C, so I cannot.
But aren't the microphones wireless?
No, nothing was wireless.
There should be adapters.
I got an adapter and I plugged it in and it said, will not work with this accessory.
Love it.
And then I thought, oh, well, I'll use my iPad, not my vanilla, my iPad, and then that'll be nice. And my iPad is also USB-C.
Cool.
So sadly, but listen, if my followers want to donate towards good microphones, or you want to put it on mom and dad's credit card,
that could be arranged. It is Prime. It's Prime Day or whatever.
Oh, is it right now?
Yeah.
Can you hear it better though? I elevated the phone.
Yeah, better.
Okay. So talking about self-image, and I was going to share my journey, and then we kind of go on from there. But I was saying, recently I gained 6 pounds, and I'm really, happy with the way I look. I looked at myself in the mirror before getting in the shower the other day, and I was like, I'm really proud of the way I look. Like my face is filled out, and I have a little bit of a bigger stomach. And I was saying to Tanya, like, I took a bunch of pictures of myself and sent it to Dave, and I'm like, I'm so proud of the way I look. And he's like, thank you for sharing these. I'm at work. Yeah. But that got me wondering, like, how many people are actually really happy with the way that they look. And like Dave also, he's always like frustrated because I think he fluctuates his weight. And my new friend Jessie is always like, oh, I don't look good. And Joss, I know there was a time too where you were really thin, and then we were like, oh no, Joss, you're too thin. We've kind of heard that our whole life, right? Hello to all my followers. And I think that's hard when you're struggling to want to feel good about yourself. I've always wanted to gain weight, and I think that I can't say for sure that that's just as hard as losing weight, right? But it's about putting the work for certain people. Absolutely. So I've taken this like organic journey to try and get my mind right and feel better and eat more. And I do feel like I'm not eating out of just like depression. I'm not eating crap. Like I'm hungry enough to eat these full meals, and now I'm really happy with the way that I look. But I know that there's a lot of people that where they're trying to get to look good or they want to feel good about themselves. Like, it's such a toxic journey. Yeah. And no one has ever said to me, and Joss, I don't know about you, but like for me, no one has ever said, you know what, you look so good. You look so skinny, right? That's always been, you need to eat a fucking cheeseburger. You look way too skinny, right? So anyway, so now that I feel really good about the way that I look, I think part of the thing too is I'm like, okay, well, I find myself physically attractive, but then my toxicities are, I only like to go out when there's makeup on my face. You know, I wake up, Jocelyn remembers when I would call her during COVID, she's like, you don't look good. My phone, my Face ID won't open sometimes if I'm not wearing makeup, and after a few days I look like my sister and I's like our 73-year-old dad, you know, or worse, my 98-year-old grandmother. Like my face is really, you know, and so then I feel like, anyway, so that's kind of been my journey, is like, I want to feel good about myself, and I feel like, how can we pump up our friends? You know, like when I'm sure like Dave will be like, oh, I'm fat right now, I can't. You know, I don't want to go get new clothes until I got my goal. And how do we support our friends feeling like that? So,
I mean, I feel like we're always our own worst critics, right? Like, we're always hypercritical, you know, all the little things. Like, whereas like other people would say, like, no, you look phenomenal, right?
Does Chris ever say to you, Tanya's boyfriend is Chris, he's like the most amazing person ever. Jocelyn, he found a whoopee cushion and he gave it to Tanya to give to me.
That's amazing.
He knows I love farts. But like, I think we've all heard from men or our partners, like, you look great without makeup. You really do always look great. My sister also always looks great. But maybe we don't see ourselves that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're hypercritical of ourselves, and so we have this image in our heads, and if we don't meet it, then...
And I also wonder too...
Wait, Jen, your audio's not great.
Hold on. How about now?
Much better, much better.
I'll just hold it. Wait, question, Jocelyn. If I do that, can you still hear me okay?
Yep.
Back. Oh,
even better.
I put it on my laptop right next to my notes. You can hear me now? Jocelyn? Okay, well, she'll come back, maybe, or she'll die, or she died. Jocelyn, we miss you, we love you. But yeah, so I just kind of wonder, like, what do you think it takes for people to feel good in their own skin? Jocelyn, you're back. So what does it take for everyone to feel comfortable in their own skin? What's one thing, like I just said, for me, it's makeup and feeling like I have fat on my body. But like for you, like, what do you think makes you feel, and you're very athletic.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I grew up swimming. And so I feel like growing up in that kind of environment, like, you're not hiding anything. And no one else around you is hiding anything.
Swimming is a very exposed.
You're super exposed. Your face is red from, you know, huffing and puffing. Like, your
David Stevens says, I want to wear other people's skin.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's go. I want to talk about that. Keep on.
So I grew up swimming, and I think that was so good for me because I felt strong.
Right.
And I saw everyone saw me. And so like, we never really thought anything about it. It
right.
wasn't until I became an adult that I was like, oh, actually a little bit more self-critical about all this. So I've fluctuated a little bit in adulthood. And I feel like going back to the strength, going back to being able to do a Pilates class or ride a horse or swim, whatever, that grounds me.
Yeah.
And that brings me back to like, no, okay, I'm feeling better.
So has there been a time too because as long as I've known you, you've always been doing something like you sail or ride, you hike all the time. And do you ever feel like there's been a time too where you've let that kind of go and you're now I don't feel as good about myself?
Yeah. I mean, the first year that I moved to LA, all we did was eat and drink.
Tanya grew up in Kentucky.
Spent some time in Kentucky, yeah.
But did you grow up in Poland?
I spent a couple years in Poland too. So we grew up moving around. And so that was also really cool to be able to see all different kinds of people, different shapes, different ethnicities, different lifestyles. And so that really also opened my eyes. And it's like, There's no one way to
This
look.
is Rosanna Semph, my like old like, oh my god, Rosanna. She was my student back in Colorado. Wait, how do I get her to get in here? This is also like TikTok is such a thing. Like, and I feel bad for my viewers because they're probably like, if this girl wasn't 45, Rosanna, I'm trying to invite you, and if you can hear me and you can tell me how to do it better, I want you to talk. They're probably like, this old bitch. And TikTok, and Jocelyn said that on the viewer side, it is also intimidating. Like there's a bunch of buttons and shit. I think like for me personally too, for the longest time, I didn't want to show my bare midriff at all. Like I would go to Coachella and be completely covered up. And I remember my ex-boyfriend being like, are you going to show some skin this year? And I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good. Or I'm like, I have big feet. Jocelyn, I hate to throw you out on this one too, but you also have big feet.
I have perfectly proportioned feet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. That's you are.
That's the spirit.
In all fairness, Jocelyn is a lot taller than I am. How tall are you? 5'5",
5'5", 5'6".
Okay, Jocelyn's a lot taller.
What's your foot size?
8.5.
Oh, same.
Yeah, average.
Okay,
Average.
I think it's because we are pretty thin that like our legs are so thin and proportion to our legs, our feet. They do look.
our dad used to be
We used to call it like say we had sleds.
yeah, we're gonna go water skiing without needing the skis, and we're like, thanks a lot, Dad. And then as riding horses, like you get it. Like remember, Jocelyn and I'd wear the tight pants and the tall boots.
When you're wearing skinny jeans and like Converse, it doesn't look great.
And I'm looking like I had remember getting these new tall boots and thinking, like Ariat just made these new boots, and I thought, oh God, they zipped on the side and they looked so sexy, and I thought I feel sexy, I look so good. And one of my students took a bunch of pictures of me teaching in the ring, and I looked like fucking Batman. You know what I mean? I thought they looked so cute and they were comfy, and it turned out it just looked like my feet, were like out to here, and I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this what I look like?
But people would never notice that, I feel like. Or the people that do are...
I think you're right. I mean, when was the last time, like, I can be a little judgmental for sure, but I'm not going to be like, that girl, what's up with her feet? You know?
That's definitely like a personal, like...
It's
something only you kind of probably...
Yeah, for sure. You're a self-conscious about it. And so, you're right. It's like, as I've gotten older... Like Joss, like when Be a Good Person came out, Be a Good Person's a clothing line in Denver, which I started following them on TikTok. We've met the owners, like people in the store, like I want them to want me so bad. And so, but when Be a Good Person, we started wearing Be a Good Person, they came out with this really cute crop windbreaker. It was the April showers, bring May flowers, and I was like, I do not want that, but I want the full one.
Yeah.
Because I was not comfortable with showing my midriff. And now none of my shirts have the bottom half. I cut them all off. I'm like, oh, this is going to make a really cute crop shirt. Yeah. And now I'm like super comfortable with it. And that was even before I gained a bunch of weight. So anyway, I think that you're right. There's things that you're self-conscious about, right? That like I have another friend that's absolutely gorgeous. I work with her in the agency. Yeah. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Like of all the ladies and the people that we see, doing OnlyFans, working that agency. And maybe a lot of you don't know, but I work for an agency that represents models on social media, and one of them is OnlyFans. And I applaud these people for just showing it. And that's why I have my own. It's not because I want to sell porn. So I'm just like, look how good I look. And there's something for everyone. I think you have to use that responsibly. But my friend App she's so sweet. She's so gorgeous. She's like, I don't know that I'm not comfortable doing that. And I said, God, I would wipe you up in a second. You are like my perfect thing.
We're on our own worst critics.
100%. Another thing I wanted to touch on was plastic surgery and where a lot of people stood on it. I personally am all about it. I have not done plastic surgery. Joss, you've done something similar?
I get Botox in my face.
It's painful or no?
Not really, no.
How often do you have to upkeep the Botox?
Well, I'd like to do it every 6 months, but it's expensive. So I got it in February, and I can't afford to get it now. So I'd like, whatever I can afford it.
You did your forehead?
I mostly do around my eyes and like the tiniest bit in my forehead.
So, like the bags that might be covered by glitter right now, but like I've always complained, like I have these like crow's feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Botox will fix that or no?
Totally.
Okay, but it won't fix the puffies under my eyes.
No.
Okay, so that's something. I'm sure a lot of my viewers have Snapchat. You don't have Snapchat, right?
I used to.
Okay, the Snapchat filters have taken over the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what the Snapchat filters show me is, well, I can really look good with tighter skin and some lip filler. What Snapchat doesn't seem to do is tighten my neck skin up. And I said to my sister, can I just get rid of my turkey neck? And she goes, no, you have to get the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
And I also said to my sister, she's my, in case you haven't noticed, she's my therapist, my go-to. Jocelyn, maybe younger by 7 years, but mentally she is way older than me.
Yep.
Right, Joss? So I started looking at these Snapchat filters, and I'm like, maybe I could do a little lip filler and like a little this. And she was like, you can't just do a little lip filler.
Really?
Right?
There's just no such thing as a little lip filler. Like it's gonna look like like outrageous. I feel like.
Hold on, David Stevens says I use Snapchat filters to make me look worse, so I give the other guys a fighting chance.
Nice.
I love you so much. That's why I like sometimes, I'll do like I also wonder, and my friend David Stevens, who is not really fun, I feel like the Snapchat camera, when it's just your opening Snapchat, makes you look worse on purpose.
It absolutely could be.
I'm just saying, I know I'm not always the most beautiful, and even without makeup, sometimes I'm just like, all right, I look like my dad today, but I don't, when I put on TikTok, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, those angles.
I don't look so bad on TikTok, right? Because TikTok wants to make you look good. Snapchat wants to make you feel bad about yourself. So anyway, like Jocelyn said, I sent her this Snapchat, and I said, look at how good I look with a little lip filler and a little this. And she was, your dad must be a beautiful woman. Jocelyn, your dad is pretty good looking. My mom, I'm just saying. So anyway, it's like, would I do it?
Yeah.
Would I get a facelift? Would I do the lip filler? Probably not. Like Jocelyn said, it's expensive and you have to be able to upkeep it. It's like a horse.
Yeah.
The other thing is like the pain involved.
Yeah. 100%. No, not my thing.
I like the way I look at these filters. And that kind of, did you ever see Ready Player One?
No.
Joss, did you see Ready Player One? This movie's fantastic.
No.
It's basically where everyone has their AI. They go into the AI universe or whatever. I'm sure I'm going to get rained for this, but they're living their lives as their avatars.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that, right? It's just like, it's like a walk around. It's just like Snapchat. Like everyone, like, just look at my face, look how pretty I look. But
according to your viewers, that's what you're doing.
totally. And also, I think people take it too far once you've done a certain type of plastic surgery, like you start to look like a bicycle seat, right? If you just overdo it, right? Kennedy pointed this out. I didn't say it. My 13-year-old daughter goes, she looks like a bike seat. And I almost peed my pants. But some people, it's true. Like, I don't need a thick, like a more protruding chin, and I don't need higher cheekbones. And I don't know where that need to have that image came from, but I wonder for people, a little plastic surgery, I'm down. If you want to have a lot of plastic surgery, that's also okay. And if you've watched 190 Day Fiance Tell All, you've seen them all, where they're all like, or what's the Real Housewives one, Jocelyn? It's the reunion. Like they got a little boobs this and a little lipo and a little tummy tuck, and it's like, when are you ever going to be satisfied with looking the way, you know what I mean?
But I think like also like when you put your image out into the public and you try to look like a public figure, that's when you start to invite other people's opinions. And maybe initially it's okay, and finally, you hit a low day and it's that one comment or 5.
Right.
Just, you know what?
You get haters.
It's time,
You get haters. It's funny too, and I want to come to this in a second. I was also saying that the upkeep to be able to do all these things. You would say, Joss, that every 6 months would you need to does it wear off and then you look wrinkly, or do you notice a difference, or
Yeah, I notice a difference, but
you don't like it?
um,
If you're out in the sun a lot, does that make it?
yeah, you really should. I mean, that's bad for your skin anyway, you know?
I mean, if I'm always out in the sun with the horses. And
Like, you
stuff.
should always wear sunscreen.
I'm blocking a hat.
Oh, that's I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. So we covered all of that. I listen. If it wasn't so painful, and people are always like, "Well, you have tattoos and things like that," it's a different pain. Like, I'm not black and blue and swollen after I get a tattoo, right? It might be a little bleedy and a little stabby, but you know what I mean?
Tomato.
Right. I had a friend staying at my house, and I took care of her for a week after she got plastic surgery. She felt so, and I think that's the other thing. And when you get the plastic surgery, immediately after, you look and feel like shit.
Yeah.
And it is a long process. I don't know about Botox. Is it pretty immediate?
It's like sometimes in a week or 2 weeks, you see results.
Oh my God, Abalone Chituro, get over here. This is my queen that I love so much. So I want her to be live with us so bad. When I've had friends that have gotten major work done, or their boobs, and they're in pain for weeks, almost a month after. Is it worth it?
Not for me. The less pain I can do, the better.
Totally. There was something else, like when Dawson was like, oh, it's just, you can't just do a little lip filler. It's like if I wanted to get breast implants, and now I'm 90 pounds, and I'm really proud of that. But like my collarbone it's out there. So I can't just get the bees even that I want, because it would look like it's worth it. No, I would love to do it, but for my body, in order to have breast implants, wouldn't I have to have? I'd have to, you know what I mean? It would just look like someone stapled two water balloons on my chest. And so I applaud those that like have the body types to be able to do it. And if I had the money, let's say I didn't have a kid and I didn't have dogs or horses, or I didn't, like I wrote here in my notes, if I wasn't supporting all the Door Dashers in the San Fernando Valley, I could probably afford to do some self-care that I wanted. And at the same time, I'm only 45 only. That's now a journey I am going to have to spend on myself probably every 6 months. Yeah, it would look at, I know, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but that's also why I started doing tattoos.
Yeah.
Because I figured I could do that.
So if money wasn't an object, what would you do?
No object at all. I would do, is it a facelift if I just want my skin tightened? Is that what it is, Dawson? And I would get a little lip filler, but a little. No, I don't.
A bee sting.
Yeah, I don't want to look like my ducks. Yeah, a bee sting. It's a little bit. Do I think she needs? Do you think she needs work done? I mean, no, I don't think I need work done. But okay, but then I would get a bee cut, please. I have always wanted to feel more secure in a bikini. Jocelyn and I would do a lot of vacations with our folks to like the Keys, Florida, whatever, in bathing suits. And I look back and I just go, especially in my braces era, I'm like, oh my God, it looks so gross.
It's so funny because the grass is always greener, right? Because people that are larger, they're like, oh, I wish I was skinnier. I wish I was skinnier. And I'm sure,
Maybe let me give you the fact.
Yeah, you're looking at their photos and they're looking at you.
Right. And I think also being thin, people think that I have it so easy. And maybe I do. I mean, I don't know everything. But it's hard because, like what I was saying about my feet, now I'm fine. Remember, like for a long time, I was like, I'm not going to wear skinny jeans because my feet look so big. Now I'm like, whatever, it's my fucking feet. It's too, maybe that's maturity as well.
Yeah, and I think always like dressing for your type, right? Like finding the styles that work for you and really embracing those.
This might be a bad example, but I used to really like shit on Billie Eilish. Where I'm like, why is she wearing the clothes that look like my grandmother's dress? Why is she wearing all these big clothes? What the hell is she trying to hide? And the more I've gotten older and done like a deep dive on her, she's perfectly curvy and absolutely stunning individual. I don't always. Joss, am I still here?
You paused for a second.
I had to learn how to do not disturb before. But what I was saying about Billie Eilish is that like underneath, she's got a rack and she's curvy, and she didn't want to be sexualized.
Yeah.
So she wore all the big clothes. And at first I was like, those are the ugliest clothes ever. And now I'm like, when I was in Florida recently, I was like, I'm going to wear big clothes. And I like that look for me. Well, not because I felt like I looked bigger, but I was comfortable.
Yeah. And I think like also like over time, like we go through different phases, right? Different waves of different things that we like and what we think we look good in.
Totally.
So.
I think that, a year ago I've always been comfortable going out in sweats, but now I really don't care. As long as I have some eyeliner on.
Yep. A little bit mascara and you're good.
Exactly. All right, the last topic I wanted to touch on was the opposite of physical image with self-image is the mental health image.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you felt good about yourself overall?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you achieve that, result? So do you ever feel, you're one of the most stable people I've ever met in my life. Do you ever feel like you've had to, I talked to different people about their mental health journeys. When you and I met, we were talking about Dave, and I hate to, also we're live in Dave's apartment. Dave is in England right now, and it's so hot in the valley today. Tanya was here taking care of Dave's cat. I'm like, let's go live together. Dave made sure we had cheese and air conditioning and wine, and so we stand Dave.
Yes.
But when we met, one of the things that I loved about you was that you were like very positive, encouraging Dave to be this next best version of himself, that we are all the work in progress. And I really loved that about you, is that you were so kind and open to all of your friends and their journeys. And is that something you've ever had to kind of have to deal with for yourself? Or do you feel like you've always been okay and you're the matriarch for everybody else's journeys?
I think we all go through different phases, again, going in our lives where like maybe things are not going so well, or maybe we don't have the best like self-image, or like those valleys, highs and valleys.
Yeah.
And I think the purpose of being a friend, right? Like you raise your friends up, whether they're low, whether they're not. Like if you're gonna be shitty to your friends, like you're not a friend, right?
There's a difference between calling a spade and giving them the hard truth.
Yes.
Versus baiting them, which I don't feel that you've ever done.
But at the end of the day, like you want to raise them up. Like I want to be around people that I have a lot of fun with, that make me feel good, and like I want to give that back.
Yeah, you are not a misery loves company.
No.
And that's
no,
one of the things I've always loved about you. And I think also in our friendship, and I think that one of the things, I can't say it's a positive thing necessarily that I've learned, is that my perspective sometimes is where you're Jocelyn, I've described my relationship with Tanya, right? Or that the ship of Jen and Tanya is this beautiful, the rose, right? If we were a flower, Tanya is the beautiful rose part and the petals, and she smells good, and she's that beautiful part. And then I am that stem that has all the thorns that if you don't be careful, when you go to touch it, you're going to get stuck, right? You're going to bleed, you're going to get hurt.
But you need both at the end of the
exactly.
day. And like the thing that I really like about you is that you will speak your mind. And even so, like at the end, you're so generous and you're so kind.
Thank you. I try.
So, I don't think that's like the perfect analogy, like the rose and the thorn.
But
you have a lot of rose in you.
Well, thank you.
But you also have a lot of thorns.
I do a lot of it, and I'm proud of that.
Yes.
And I love that about me.
You need both.
Right. Both need each other to exist.
Yeah.
So I think that when we met and I was saying certain things, you were just like, you're so gentle about things. And I'm like, if a dog shits on the floor all the time, you spank it and you say, no, you don't get to do that. And it goes and sits in solitary for a little bit. It comes back out and you pretend it didn't happen. And we see where we're at.
Yeah.
And it was on the mental health journey. One of the things I always talk to the followers about is I struggled with anxiety probably for about 10 years. My marriage was very, very toxic. It was, and it's one of the things I talk about where I had anxiety, and maybe, I don't want to say that my anxiety and things like that were brought on by my family. Like everybody does the best that they can. Being a mom also, you have the ability to do damage to your children. You do the best that you can. But eventually my sister and I had to talk to, which is my biggest, supporter. And I said, listen, it's not that I want to be unalive. It's just that I don't know how long I can keep going. And everyone goes through that. I think too, a lot of people go, I just don't know that I can continue. And so I got on medication, and I've changed that medication a couple times since my big breakup last year. And even since the medication change, I've had some serious toxic behaviors with some serious health problems that like I incurred that what is it when you put it on yourself? Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for when you...
Self-inflicting?
That one, yeah. Like I was like, this is going to be bad for me, but...
In the moment, you don't care.
And I'm always like, as whatever sickness or pain I was in, when I knew I was going to live through it, and then I could just roll that dice again, and that wasn't good. And so it affected my relationships with my family, my friends, and in the end, finally, I would say in the last even 5 months, I wouldn't even say 6 months, 4 months even, to everybody giving me their opinions and whatever, really realizing that I do want to be around and things like that. And I meet new people. Like if I thought, I can't do it anymore, then I meet somebody cool like you, or I got a new horse or whatever. Like that's been really helpful. But there are days like even last week where I'm like, I don't know, I just want to lay down in the kitchen and cry. And I think that you can give yourself that. But do you ever feel like if you don't feel good mentally, does that affect the way you feel physically?
I mean, I think 100%. Like the two, it's always like a push and a pull between the two, right? Like I can't say that I've ever felt like the way that you have felt. So I can only.
You're young. You have time.
Yeah, great. Let me schedule it for 5 years.
You won't get there. You won't get there. You make good decisions in your life.
No, but I think it's hard for me to speak on that because I've never experienced something like that. But the best thing that you can do, and I know it's always easier to say when you're on a better plane, right? Like, eat better, and go outside and do this and be,
it's gonna get better. Yeah,
like, it's so easy to say. I'm sure. You just have to persevere at the end of the day. I feel like, and get over that hump. However way you can.
Oh, Dave's gonna love this. That his cat joined the live. This cat didn't like anybody at all. Then it liked Dave, and now it's really come around to me and Tanya.
Yeah.
One of the things, like when I met you, then you went to your trip in Argentina recently, and you were like, I really encourage Chris, your boyfriend, to go and do a solo trip, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you don't want to spend all your time together? And then I went recently on a trip to Nashville just with a friend that I grew up with. And I went, I really needed that. And I think sometimes, like, have you done a trip out, like, just by yourself?
I've never done fully by myself.
Joss, have you done that or no? You've always had somebody.
Myself, and it was...
Oh, wait, I forgot about that ball. That we don't talk about that Bali trip, or do we?
I mean, we talk about it, but I thought I was going to have my eat, pray, love moment, and I had never traveled by myself before. And then I go to a beautiful country, but a third world country, and...
No, pause real quick. Were you supposed to have friends that go with you?
No, it was always meant to go by myself.
Go by yourself. And I remember my mother was like, because I think, was I like...
Everyone said, don't do it. My parents were like, don't. I really think you should bring a friend. I was like, no, I just graduated college. I'm going to be an independent woman.
Kennedy was like just born, right?
Yeah. And I did not realize I don't like traveling alone.
Well, first we were like, you have to understand that, and now we've grown up a lot, but Jocelyn and I were if you can't have chicken fingers or a peanut butter sandwich readily available. Yeah. You like spaghetti and meatballs, by the way?
I don't love, like marinara sauce.
Me. I hate spaghetti. No. And rarely would my mother make spaghetti. Yeah. But my mother and both my parents worked. 40 hours is an undersell. They the days of their jobs and their family life. And on the rare occasions that my mom would say we're having spaghetti tonight, I would just be like, I am not eating that shit. Yeah. And so it was peanut butter sandwich or it was chicken fingers. Mm-hmm. And so I said, Jocelyn, what are you going to eat while you're there? Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, I'm married and I have a kid. Mm-hmm. Not by a long time, but like, and I said, what are you going to do? Let's get you a plan. I'm going to eat the chicken in Bali. Yeah. And that lasted how long? I can't remember.
Well, I had like basically rice and chicken all the time. And like their version of chicken tenders, which was like,
yeah. And we were, and I felt so bad because when she finally called, she's like, I'm not having a good time. And I remember, I think it was 4th of July, right?
Yep.
And I said to Mike, my ex-husband, we have to find her things to do. We have, because I was so worried.
Yeah.
I don't think even now, I don't know how Dave does it and how other people travel on their own.
Yeah.
I need that social, and also I'm hopeless. I can't find my car at the parking lot. When I go to the market. So I would worry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or my sixth sense would kick in. But when you were like in Argentina with your dad, first of all, could you imagine?
I was with my father, so I was fine.
But still, you're like, to do those things without your partner is a huge deal. And I remember you saying like, it's good because then I missed him. And Chris said the same thing. And I was just like, Dave was recently in Japan, and I was like, I don't like missing Dave here.
And it's like, again, having that space, you get to do the things that you wouldn't necessarily do, and you get to take a little bit of time, like think through things.
You don't have to worry about anybody else.
You don't, exactly. You want to sit on the couch all day, sit on the couch all day.
Yeah.
You want to order spaghetti, order fucking spaghetti. You know?
Right. I think that is an important part with your mental health too.
Yeah, and on the flip side, like when you're traveling, like obviously you get to miss your life that you have back home, but it's also you get to experience other different things, right? And open your eyes to different viewpoints and different cultures, different foods, different whatever, because like you never know. And then you get to bring that back.
When you came back from Argentina, I immediately called my sister and I said, Tanya was with penguins. Do you want to go to Argentina? And she was like, absolutely. And then I was trying to get my parents to go because I would like them to pay for it. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. But is this like team move? But anyway, okay, the last thing I want to talk about real quick with regard to self-image is the image that you feel that so your true image, and then people want to portray a certain image. I'm not going to mention names. But I will just say this one person was warned that I was going to bring this up because, and it's not Dave. Okay. Because Dave is an angel this week. Dave's an angel this week.
Yep.
But
week by week.
And I could call Dave out if I wanted to. But week by week. This one particular person. So when I talk about image, we talk about like the way that you look and that the way that you feel. But what about the way, like who you attract and the way that you are? So I have a friend that is really working on himself right now, supposedly. Okay. And he's like, I'm not trying to meet anybody. I'm not trying to be with anybody. But he's on Hinge.
Supposedly.
No. He's literally on Hinge. And he's got this persona, okay, that, what is this, a lot of people don't know their real image, even though it's actually, I love that. That's amazing. Yes. Oh, wait, how can I like that? Whatever your name is, I love that. I'm going to find you. It's true. And that goes back to what we were saying earlier when I have the same friend who's like, I don't want to take pictures of myself until I get to my goal weight. Yeah. You look good the way that you are right now. Yeah. What is wrong with the way that you look right now? And that person is not satisfied with that. And that's so sad. But what I was saying was this real image that this person is versus this image that this person portrays on social media or on the dating apps. And he's attracting these people that are not real, what he wants. I'm not saying they're not real. He's attracting a certain persona. You know what? I'm just going to say it. He attracts a little bit of a slutty person. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're going to put yourself out there that maybe you do drugs or you drink and you want to put out, then that's the kind of company that you're going to keep, right? That doesn't make those people bad at all. It gives that vibe of, you do that? I also do that, and I'm looking for that. It is not fair to put yourself out there like that. Yeah. And then act like, no, just kidding. I'm not looking for that. And I do feel that a lot of people are doing that, right? Because they don't want to be true to themselves or being their real authentic self. Like our friend user 610 something is saying that being your real self is too hard sometimes. Yeah. Not for me. No. I mean, does it have backlash? 1,000%. My sister is constantly like, maybe dial it back. Or I think you love me for who I am, right, Jocelyn? But at the same time, it's like I get what I get what I get because of the person that I am. But what I have a hard time with is people saying, I'm looking for love and I'm a gentle person. I'm like, you know what I mean? But you're putting yourself out there as a completely different person. And then you're like stringing those people along, or you're kind of shocked that that's what you attracted. And so how hard is it to be our most authentic self?
I mean, I would say it's pretty fucking hard right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Because of all that we've been talking.
Everything.
We've been talking a lot about not getting canceled and saying the things that you want to say. And I feel like the show has made me a lot more mature and careful about the way I do approach things. However, I did tell our sushi chef the other day, like, I would like some extra spicy mayo on this particular roll. There's literally nobody in here. Why can't you give me the spicy mayo? Just do it. And maybe that was a little rude, but I felt like I was at least being real. Like, bitch, there's no one in this restaurant and I'm not holding you back, and we're paying. So how hard is it really? You're right. Probably it could be pretty hard.
I mean, because it's also, again, like everything that we're consuming, right? Like all the media, all the like, social media.
The spicy mayo police will cancel.
Yeah.
It's so true. She was so mad at me, right? I said, pause. I was like, I'm so sorry. Am I bothering you?
Yeah.
I wanted the number 14 with the number 15 sauce. Anyway, so yeah, she was not happy. I got it though. I got that sauce. But anyway, sorry, you were saying.
And no, I mean, because I think it's like everything that we're consuming, right? So we see the people that are popular, we see the people that are getting, likes, views, whatever. It's like, oh, I want to be like that.
Right, that's true.
And then I think on the flip side, it's also going back to like, not being true to yourself, or like not being, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Like too proper?
Not even that,
or
but it's just
authentic?
like not what I'm looking for.
Like too proper?
Not even that,
or
but it's just
authentic?
like not knowing
Yeah.
who you are.
Oh, good call. Just still doing that search.
You haven't done it, you don't know it, and it's hard to find.
Do you think, we won't talk about your age, but she's younger by a lot, but do you think that the 10 years ago version of you is a lot different than the version of you now? Because for me, 1,000%. But I was a late bloomer and I don't feel like I was always the most mature.
Yeah.
And the version of me now I'm very proud of, whereas 10 years ago, she could have been a little bit better.
I mean, if you don't say that, then I feel like we're in 10 years, you change a lot.
You should.
You absolutely should. Whether it's better for worse, we'll see, right? We'll see in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But like you're constantly, again, like in these new experiences and meeting new people, doing different things. And what was the original question?
Hold on. No, you're on it. The version.
Like, so you're
like always
you
like trying to be
changing.
like we're talking about being that version of yourself.
And like the authentic person of 10 years ago is different than the authentic person right now. But I think there are certain things that are still the same, like still the same love.
Like your morals and your values, yeah.
And I mean,
I was definitely proud of your 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I was a younger mom. My daughter was 3. I could do some pretty immature shit. I don't even want to talk about my Coachella. I mean, I go to Coachella with her now, but the Coachella Jen of 10 years ago is not the Coachella Jen of now. I would say am I a little more financially responsible? I don't know about that. Yeah. I make some serious financial, I always beat myself up about that. But do I think I'm a little bit more mature and I've evolved from 10 years ago?
You should.
I would fucking hope so.
Exactly.
I think that I was getting out of a toxic relationship then and getting into another relationship. And I wouldn't say my previous relationship was necessarily toxic. It wasn't great. It had some toxic components. But what did I do at Coachella? Well, you message me about that privately and I will tell you everything. I'm not shy about it, but when you go live, you have some standards. But, let's just say I'm not unproud. I'm just saying, 10 years.
101.
Yeah. Hit me up. I have no problem talking about the journey, but I'm just saying that you should have evolved in some ways from the 10 years ago. Yeah. Listen, technology evolves. Vacuum technologies involved in cars. And we also as people, I think.
You should. And
what did you do at Bonnaroo? I drowned. I wish I could go to Bonnaroo. Listen, also, if any of my followers have electric forest tickets out there. Anyway, this is the longest live we've done, so I really appreciate everything. And Jocelyn, you there? I want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'm not going to say your nickname, but everyone knows you as PB.
No one knows you.
The Portland Beaver. herself.
There you go.
Jocelyn Dallas, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Tanya Dubs, such an MVP. Thank you so much for doing this. You're my first in-person, like, on-camera host.
My pleasure. Way outside of my comfort zone, but my pleasure.
Yeah, you
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. And all my
Cheers to that.
friends out there, love you. Please message me, and I will see you next week. And normally I struggle with how to turn this off every week, and I'm not doing that this week because I hit a little button right